Ladies and gentlemen, my name is CBAD and welcome to week 2 of the WBE. The Detroit Steel Wings are taking on Joey pokeaim and the New York Dreepies. If you guys are excited for our week 2 matchup, definitely show some love on that like button down below. If you guys are new, feel free to subscribe for some more Pokemon content, singles, VGC, draft, let's plays, all that fun stuff going on right now. Of course, if you guys want to pick up some merchandise in this very comfortable hoodie, the link is in the description, as well as Joey's channel. Definitely go show him some love. Great friend of mine, great battler. If you guys missed last week's episode, feel free to check it out as well. There will be a playlist for our WBE ventures in the description down below. And of course, this is a little bit of a longer video. I'm going to be doing the team builder and the battle all in one video, so there will be a timestamp in the description as well as somewhere floating around on the screen if you guys just want to skip ahead onto the battle. But you guys are going to start to see the teams appear on screen right about now. Joey's team is really threatening. Joey's team is super threatening, but I think we've got the right team to kind of pull this off. Joey's team consists of Gigantamax Orbeetle, Corviknight, Cinderace, Gardevoir, Haxorus, Piloswine, Dracloak, Eldegoss, Pangoro, and Qwilfish. He has a lot of physical attackers. He's got a lot of physical attackers. I think we've got the team to make it work this week. Last week, of course, we also thought the same thing. Came out 0-1, or no, we're technically 0-1 right now. Joey is 1-0, so we're hopefully going to bounce back this week here. But Gigantamax Orbeetle's got a very bulky team, very physically offensive team. He's got a lot of cool stuff. Some things to mention on his team is that he does have hazard removal in the form of Rapid Spin Eldegoss and Defog Corviknight. He can set up rocks with Piloswine. He can set up spikes and T-spikes with his Qwilfish. He does have some cleric users as well. He's got a lot of priority on his team, which is something else we need to keep in mind. But the first things that I take a look at his team, I take a look at things like the the Cinderace. I take a look at things like the Corviknight, the Piloswine, the Haxorus, things like that, Pangoro, a lot of these physical attackers. So I wanted a Pokemon that can kind of assist with those. There's a lot of setup opportunity on his team as well. Things like Iron Defense, things like Calm Mind, Swords Dance, Dragon Dance, what have you. So I wanted to bring a Pokemon that can kind of provide a check for all of that. So the first Pokemon we're bringing this week, we're bringing back Hinata the Milotic. She unfortunately fell a little short last week, but that was due to poor coaching, not due to the poor player, poor coaching. We do have Hinata the Milotic, fucking her Flame Orb and Marvel Scale, Scald, Recover, Haze, and Ice Beam. We have 244 EVs in HP, 188 EVs in defense, and 76 EVs in speed with a timid nature. So what does this spread do for us? The spread that this does for us with this, we are able to increase our own physical defense after we get status by the Flame Orb with our Marvel Scale ability. It will multiply our defense stat by an extra 50% by 1.5 times. And the speed tier on here is to assist with Jolly Pangoro. Jolly Pangoro does hit 121 speed with 252 EVs. With 76 EVs and a timid nature, we are able to outspeed that by 1 point. If he runs like a weird offensive Eldegoss at max speed, he does outspeed us with that. But that is actually our speed, our typing for the most part here, as far as where a lot of our speeds are going to be positioned around. Pangoro is a huge threat. It hits like an absolute truck with 124 base attack. We do have the 4 moves on there. Scald hits really everything on his side of the field. It fishes for, he's got a lot of physical attackers, like I said, so we're going to be able to fish for a lot of burns. Things like Orbeetle, Corviknight. It's super effective against Cinderace, being able to hit the Gardevoir. Scald will be able to burn the Haxorus. It's a resisted hit, but we have Ice Beam for that. Scald will be doing super effective damage to Piloswine, also fishing for a burn. Dracloak, Ice Beam also hits the Dracloak as well. Ice Beam hits the Eldegoss. Scald will be able to fish for the burn on Pangoros. Qwilfish is unfortunately a little bit of a problem that we need to worry about, but I don't see it being that big of a deal for Milotic not to be able to handle, because she'll be able to sponge a lot of the hits with the Flame Orb already activated. We can't be poisoned by Sludge Bomb or Sludge Wave, and Qwilfish, to my knowledge, doesn't get any immediate recovery like we do, so we'll be able to kind of 1v1 this in a situation. We do have Recover, of course, for the longevity, and then Haze to help prevent any sort of setup opportunity that my opponent may have. Like I said, he's got a ton. I mean, things like Bulk Up, Iron Defense, Calm Mind, Dragon Dance, Swords Dance, all that fun stuff is immediately coming to mind right now when I take a look at his team. So that's going to be a little bit of our defensive backbone there. The next Pokemon that we are bringing this week, I really love this set, by the way. I do want to shout out Eric and Jared in the front office helping me put the teams together. Of course, we had a lot of fun building this set. Next up, we have the, what do we have here? We have Sprig the Vileplume. There we go. It took me a second. I was like, wait, what am I bringing next? We've got Sprig the Vileplume here. Sprig is rocking the Payapa Berry with the Effect Spore ability. Strength Sap, Sludge Wave, Moonblast, and Leech Seed. We have 244 EVs in HP, 84 EVs in defense, 92 EVs in special attack, 68 EVs in special defense, 20 EVs in speed with a modest nature. This looks like a crazy set. So let's kind of break it down first. The Payapa Berry is having the damage taken from a super effective psychic type attack, single use item. This is meant to be, Gardevoir kind of just hits our team really hard, so I wanted a Pokemon that can kind of help out with Gardevoir. Vileplume is going to be the case here. So let's kind of break it down. Let's first start talking about, we know what the Payapa Berry does. It halves damage taken from a super effective psychic type attack. If I saw Gardevoir coming, I would wholeheartedly anticipate a Scarf set. I would. A Scarf set, maybe a bulky offensive set. I don't think he'd run Specs because I can outspeed it. Depending on what he locks himself into, I can always pivot around with there. The Spec set certainly will hurt, but we'll still be able to take it on relatively okay regardless. So that being said, the 244 EVs in HP and 84 EVs in defense allow us to take a Psyshock under half. We'll have, if we're at full health coming in on no hazards, we'll be able to come in, be above half, take that Psychic type attack with our Payapa Berry. If we have Rocks up, Sludge Wave does OHKO an uninvested Gardevoir. So this thing is meant to punish Gardevoir for thinking it can attack us. 68 special defense along with the 244 EVs. Same thing, allows us to take a Psychic better. It does give us a little bit more comfortability with Fairy Spam on the team because Moonblast does just hurt a lot. Leech Seed is really good for residual recovery. The only Pokemon he has that can really come in on that is Eldegoss. And we do have the Sludge Wave to be able to hit that super effectively. Moonblast hurts the Pangoro. Moonblast hurts the Dracloak. Moonblast hurts the Haxorus. Moonblast is really good to have. Corviknight kind of comes in. We can Strength Sap to get some recovery back on a lot of his physical attackers, as well as, again, with that Leech Seed recovery. And then Effect Spore, if they do make contact, like I would anticipate a lot of his physical attackers will, there's a 30% chance of poison, paralysis, or sleep on any of them. So we either get a little bit of residual damage, we either put something to sleep, or we get some speed control on there. Any sleep caused by Effect Spore does not fall under Sleep Clause, so he attacks physically twice in a row with 2 different Pokemon and gets sleep. That's Effect Spore working right there. So that's our Vileplume. We do have this thing here for a reason, to help out with Gardevoir and be able to help out. We do have a lot of bulk to kind of be able to assist us with the Piloswine, being able to Strength Sap a Piloswine. The speed EVs that we have on there are actually for uninvested Piloswine. We do go just a little bit above that. If he puts any more in there, he starts either losing offensive presence or bulk. But we can take the Psyshock or the Psychic from a Scarf Gardevoir if you were to send in his Piloswine to kind of revenge kill us with maybe Icicle Crash, or even just get some Ice Shard. If he thinks Ice Shard will be able to pick us off, we can Strength Sap that health back, lowering the attack and be able to continue to take it. We can toss some Leech Seeds around as well. I've got a lot of faith. In Sprig. I think Sprig is going to be doing wonders for us. The next Pokemon on the team, we're bringing a similar set to last week. We are bringing Kevin, the Rotom-Fan. He's your biggest fan, and he's also my biggest fan. He's rocking the heavy duty boots, Volt Switch, Air Slash, Will-O-Wisp, and Reflect. So a very similar set to last week. Last week we ran boots, same as attacks except for Thunder Wave and Light Screen over Will-O-Wisp and Reflect. The speed on this Pokemon allows us to outspeed max speed Gardevoir, and we are able to either get a Volt Switch off or an Air Slash. Will-O-Wisp is the max HP is to, of course, allow us to just take hits better, and then the remaining EVs were divided among defense, special attack, and special defense. The heavy duty boots allow us to come in without taking damage by rocks. Of course, for whatever reason, Orbeetle does have gravity, so gravity will bring us in even with our levitate ability, and we'll be hit by spikes and toxic spikes. So being able to keep the heavy duty boots on around for there with the G-Max Orbeetle's gravity secondary effect will be beneficial for us. He doesn't really have a good answer to Rotom, in my opinion. He's got some things that can punish us, and I know somebody in the comment section is going to say their mind on how he can deal with Rotom, but in my opinion, he does have one electric immunity in Piloswine, which does not appreciate being Will-O-Wisp, and also being able to set a Reflect up in front of it is really nice as well. We can Volt Switch around. Air Slash is great. Air Slash hits for super effective damage, things like the Pangoro, things like the Eldegoss, and then Air Slash also has a 30% chance to flinch as well. So we're trying to play our cards a little bit more in our favor this time around. I think taking advantage of the fact that a lot of his team is physical attackers, bringing something like Will-O-Wisp and Reflect on there is going to be pretty beneficial to us. The next Pokemon that we're bringing, debuting, Debuting here. First time, week 2, we are bringing Shirley, the Gigantamax Sandaconda. Shirley this week has the leftovers rocking the Shed Skin ability. Stealth Rock, Fire Fang, Earthquake, and Iron Head. We have 252 EVs in attack, 100 EVs in special defense, 156 EVs in speed with a Jolly Nature. We have the Stealth Rocks, or the Stealth Rocks are really important. We did mention that he's got 2 forms of hazard removal with spinning and defogging. We do need to keep in mind that Cinderace does have port change, being able to move rocks back to my side of the field. So that is something to keep in mind. He can also take that Reflect that Rotom can bring up. But with this, again, I touched on it with Milotic. We have 156 EVs in speed with a Jolly Nature to outspeed max speed Pangoro. We have as much attack output as we can, and then 100 special defense because, again, we really don't like Gardevoir coming in and clicking moves against us. So that kind of helps us take it a little bit better. Leftovers give us a little bit more skin in the game. I was thinking about bringing Sandspit, but a lot of our Pokemon take these rolls a little bit better based on existing damage without Sand. So Sandspit would have been nice for some residual damage on some Pokemon, but being able to go for the G-Max Sandblast with the Max Earthquake will be nice. The Max Iron Head does boost our overall physical defense to be able to help us out with physical threats, such like Haxorus, such as Piloswine, Jerkloak, Pangoro, things like that. And then we do have Fire Fang as well. Fire Fang into, as well as Max Fire, the Max Fire Fang move, Max Flare, is going to be doing tremendous damage to things like Orbeetle and Corviknight, especially once we get the Sun up and be able to boost those for the second time. So if they take the first move, they're really going to not look too good taking the second move. But Earthquake is going to be nice coverage to have in general, as well as Iron Head being able to hit things like Gardevoir, Piloswine, things like that, going for our Max Steel Spikes. The next Pokemon we have on the team, we've got a little bit more bulky offense. We've got a lot of our defensive backbone with Milotic, with Vileplume, with Rotom. We've got a little bit of offensive presence there with Sandaconda being able to set up rocks and just hit stuff. Max start hitting stuff really hard. The next Pokemon that we're bringing back Roy the Turtonator. Roy was feeling really messed up about last week's battle. He said, "Coach, put me in. I promise I can do it." I said, "Roy, don't let me down." Roy's got his boots on this week. He's got his heavy-duty boots on. He's got the Shell Armor ability to make sure he can't be crit. 4 attacks this week. We've got Rapid Spin, Flamethrower, Dragon Pulse, and Flash Cannon. He felt horrible about missing that Fire Blast. Said, "Coach, bring me down to Flamethrower." I said, "You got it." 44 EVs in HP, 4 EVs in defense, 252 EVs in speed, 4 EVs in special defense, and 204 EVs in speed with a modest nature. The 204 EVs in speed brings us to 82. So we're outspeeding uninvested Eldegoss, we're outspeeding uninvested Piloswine, we're outspeeding uninvested Pangoro, things like that if he does decide to bring it. But the Rapid Spin with the new buffs that came through in this generation, after that boost from Rapid Spin, we do end up hitting 123 speed. We're going to be able to outspeed the Jolly Pangoro. We'll be able to outspeed uninvested Orbeetle. We'll be able to outspeed the uninvested Gardevoir. If he uninvests Gardevoir, things like that, we'll be able to start doing a bit more damage too. Flamethrower is really nice. Flamethrower hits the Orbeetle, the Corviknight. The Piloswine will, of course, have thick fat, so that won't be too beneficial to us. It does hit the Eldegoss as well. Dragon Pulse is really good to have. It also does do super effective damage against things like the Haxorus. Flash Cannon is also good damage to have on things like Piloswine, things like Gardevoir as well. If we do have the heavy-duty boots on, the rocks are going to be chipping away at us, as well as if Quillfish does get up spikes, that's going to be a problematic for us, so I did want to bring those boots for this. We're naturally bulky, so we'll be able to take a little bit of a hit and rapid spin those away. And then T-Spikes we can absorb with Vileplume, but if for whatever reason if Vileplume's out of the matchup and he gets a Toxic Spike up, I really don't want to have to deal with that. So being able to rapid spin away those Toxic Spikes on there. He, of course, does have the Ghost type Indra-Cloak, which can not only block the spin, but then hit us with a super effective move afterwards. That is something to keep in mind. But as far as it goes, Turtonator, like I said, Roy was feeling really bad about his performance last week. He wanted to come in and show what he's worth. We're going to put him to the test this week. And the last Pokemon we are bringing this week is going to be Nezuko the Ribombee. She has the Focus Sash with Shield Dust, Quiver Dance, Moonblast, Bug Buzz, and Psychic. 28 EVs in HP, 4 EVs in defense, 252 EVs in special attack, 4 EVs in special defense, 220 EVs in speed with a timid nature, boosting our speed and decreasing our physical attack. 3 attacks. We are rocking Quiver Dance, Moonblast, Bug Buzz, and a Psychic. So he's got a lot of priority on his team. He's got things like Feint, Quick Attack, and Sucker Punch with Cinderace. He's got Shadow Sneak from Gardevoir. Haxorus gets First Impression this generation. He's got Ice Shard on Piloswine. He's got Quick Attack and Sucker Punch on Dracloak. He's got Bullet Punch from Pangoro. He's got Aqua Jet on Quillfish. All that stuff needs to be taken into consideration when we bring in Ribombee. My anticipation is if we are able to catch the Haxorus on something like a dragon type move that it is locked into and bring in our Ribombee, if we're in a position to where he has very little HP left, or if he has very little priority left, we should be able to catch him off guard. At the very least, what we can do is we can come in on an attack with no hazards up. That is why we also have Rapid Spin on Turtonator. We will be able to go for a Quiver Dance. At +1, we're hitting a lot of things really hard. Ribombee is really a late game sweeper for this game. After we wear things down with things like Vileplume, with things like the rocks and the Gmax Sandblast coming out from Sandaconda, being able to poke some holes with Turtonator as well, we're going to be able to do some fun stuff here with Ribombee. And we need to keep in mind the priority that he has, but we can take one hit, be brought down to our Focus Sash, and start firing off some +1 attacks. Moonblast, Bug Buzz, and Psychic do tremendous damage to his whole side of the team. The Corviknight is a problem, but we will be able to do some big boy damage with things like Roy, Shirley, and Kevin this week. But Nezuko also does not appreciate. I know I said I didn't bring Sand Spit on Sandaconda. This is another reason for that, being able to keep our Sash intact without sand hurting us, things like that. Shield Dust also prevents the secondary effects of any sort of moves. So if something like one of his Pokemon goes for a move that has a chance to burn, a chance to poison, things like that, we will avoid that with our Shield Dust. We'll be brought down to our Sash. And again, if he doesn't have any more of that priority at +1, we really start poking a lot of holes. We have the speed that we do at +1 because I didn't want to outspeed Cinderace at +1. The fastest thing on his team that he could bring would be Scarf Cinderace. So if we're going to outspeed Cinderace as is a +1, we're going to outspeed Scarf Cinderace. We're going to outspeed any variant of his team that he may or may not have. If it's something like a Scarf Pangoro, if it's something like a Scarf Haxorus, things like that, we'll be able to Quiver Dance and we'll be able to do tremendous damage. Bug Buzz is hitting the Orbeetle. Corviknight's a little bit of a problem. We need to make sure that's taken care of, but Psychic is able to hit the Cinderace. The Bug Buzz is going to be able to hit the Gardevoir. Moonblast for the Haxorus. Moonblast for the Piloswine. Moonblast for Dracloak. Bug Buzz for Eldegoss. Moonblast for Pangoro, and Psychic for Quillfish. We've got, in my opinion, the perfect coverage. I think we've got a really good matchup this week. It's all going to come down to how we're able to play our cards and how well prepared our opponent is to take us on. So all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed the team builder. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to check out some Detroit Steel Wings merchandise, the link will be in the description. Of course, pick that up. That's available for a limited time. All that being said, we're going to go on ahead and get ready for the battle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to WBE week number 2. The Detroit Steel Wings are going up against pokeaimMD and the New York Dreepies. Probably one of my favorite logos in the league. Definitely, guys, go check out Pokeaim's channel so you guys can check it out. If you guys are brand new, feel free to hit that subscribe button for some more Pokemon content. We're hopefully setting everything up here. You guys see the 6 that I'm bringing down there. If you skip the team builder, you guys don't know anything about these 6, definitely go through there for a recap if you'd like. But you guys see the 6 that I think he is bringing right over there. Corviknight, Piloswine, Gardevoir, Haxorus, Cinderace, and Dracloak. There definitely could be some room for Pangoro on there. There definitely could be some room for Orbeetle. If he felt like bringing the G-Max for the thumbnail, we'll definitely see. But we're searching for everything right now. If you guys have not yet already, there have been a ton of sales for these Detroit Steel Wings shirts. Thank you guys. If you guys have supported them, feel free to tweet me a picture. If you guys still want to pick one up, the link will be in the description down below. Another quick plug before we hop into the battle and everything is that for now until January 26th, you do have the ability to use code CBAD to save up to 30% on G Fuel, including the new French vanilla coffee flavor that just dropped. Drinking some out of a coffee mug, there's just something that feels right about it. And it's my hubby cup. So I am excited. We're going to go on ahead and search and hopefully connect here with Mr. Joey Pokeaim, and we'll be right back. All right, we are all connected. Let's go on ahead and press A at the starting signal. Let's see what my man's bringing. We have here, my opponent is bringing the Corviknight. We do see actually a little bit of some differences here, which I'm unopposed to. We do see that he brought the Piloswine. We don't see Gardevoir, which is probably better in my opinion. We do see, however, the Quillfish. Let's go on ahead and get that updated on the layout here. We do see the Haxorus. We do see the Cinderace, and then we don't see Dracloak. So we do see here the G-Max Orbeetle. So let's go on ahead and add him to the layout there. Big old boy. Big old boy. Let's shrink him down just a little bit. Perfect. All right. Is that the team? It's looking like the team. All right. Let's go on ahead and lock it down. Let me make my notes here. With the Corviknight, with the Quillfish coming, I definitely could see that as like an offensive lead for him. And then as well as the Orbeetle, we definitely could see some Pokemon come in and get some sort of setup opportunity for it. Good to know that we both brought our Pokemon here. Let's go on ahead and lead off with Kevin, as I don't see a reason not to, truthfully. Let's go on ahead and lead off with Kevin. If he does lead the Piloswine lead, we do have a dedicated switch. If we see Quillfish, we'll be able to switch out on that pretty handsomely as well. And other than that, man, I'm looking forward to a nice match with my man Joey Pokeaim. Haven't played Joey since actually. Oh, when's the last time I played Joey? I think I played Joey last time in GBA was when I saw him last. So let's go ahead and lead off. Let's make sure we got all of our little calcs open that we can. Like I said, I anticipate Quillfish to want to lead off. Leads off with Sanji. Sanji is going to be the Cinderace. Okay, so not the best lead matchup in the world. We do have a Milotic, which can come in pretty handsomely on this thing, I would say. So I'm not going to waste too much of my time here and just switch out into Hinata. We're going to get our Flame Orb activated, and we should be able to take this thing pretty nicely. We'll get some information about this Pokemon, if it's banded, if it's some sort of a Choice Scarf set as well. Let's see what we got. He goes for the Pyro Ball here right out the gate, and he does miss the Pyro Ball, and we get our nice little... We get our Flame Orb off. So he knows my set. I know his set. Scald's pretty free on his side of the field, I'd have to say. Alternatively, if he's not choice locked, I could also try to switch out into something. I feel like his Quillfish would be the best way to take that on. But I'll go ahead and toss off a Scald. It's pretty free. And we do see here that he is going to go for the U-turn. So we know he's not choice locked. So we are going to see a little bit of damage come off. That's a lot of damage, actually. That's a lot of damage there. That is a lot of damage. Let me just kind of calc that here really quickly. And he goes out into the Quillfish. That's fine by me. Quillfish does have the Intimidate on it, so that is good to know. We do get a crit on it, and we do not get a burn, but we do see the black sludge on this thing, which is fine by me. We are going to take a little bit of burn damage, so we ended up being at 173 after that U-turn. That's going to give us some information about his Cinderace here. U-turn doing about 14%, so he's more than likely, he's not adamant. He's probably speed boosting nature. I'd say like 252 Jolly. If I had to guess, if he got a high roll, he could be... Let's check. He could be adamant. Could be adamant. That doesn't really give me any information other than he does have max attack investment on this thing. So let's go on ahead and stay in. We do have our heavy duty boots Rotom. I'm going to try to fish for another burn on this thing to negate that black sludge for my opponent. And he does have the T-Spike. So we do have our Vileplume to be able to take that. And we do have our gosh diggity darn Turtonator to be able to rapid spin these things away. So I am going to go on ahead and go for one more Scald here. I'm going to try to fish for a burn. I don't think he would switch anything in on this. I don't think any of his Pokemon appreciate that burn, and he actually does withdraw. And he goes out into Zoro, which is going to be the Haxorus. So Haxorus comes out. That's a little bit of a problem. We do see the Mold Breaker on there, so we do get some information about there. If he's Lumberry, he could have pretty confidently switched this thing on if we do get a burn. We do not get a burn, unfortunately. So this brings me to my next question here. Because if this is banded Haxorus, we get hurt. We get hurt pretty bad. We're at 68%. We can take a Scarf Outrage. Let me check a Life Orb Outrage. Life Orb Outrage, not so much. Life Orb Outrage, not so much. So part of me does... I want to keep my Milotic around. We don't see the Gardevoir, so I don't know. Let's see if we can get some information about this Pokemon here. I kind of want to go out into Vileplume to absorb that T-Spike. We don't see Gardevoir here. Let's go out. If he's banded, that's going to hurt. I'm going to go out into Vileplume. I'm going to absorb that T-Spike. We are a little bit bulkier, so we can kind of see what we want to do here. And let's see what he wants to go for. He does have the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw does a lot of damage to us. The Dragon Claw does 75% to us. Which appears to be choice banded damage. So I'm going to switch out into my Ribombee here. He actually withdraws as well. And we do see the Piloswine come out. So I'm going to assume banded damage on Haxorus, given that's how much damage that happened on here. We are going to send out our Ribombee. We did absorb the T-Spikes as well, so we're going to be able to keep our Sash intact. However, I am going to switch right back out into Hinata. I do want to force a recover, so we're able to take that banded damage from Haxorus just a little bit better. And I'm going to assume he's got Eviolite and the Thick Fat on here. And he actually sets up his Stealth Rocks. So that's fine by me. I do think a recover here is going to be my best bet. Just to be able to take on that banded Haxorus a little bit more. I don't think he wants this thing to get burned, and I don't think he wants to risk a burn on anything else. So I'll go on ahead and click recover here. It was a pretty risky play, him switching in the Haxorus. He switches out, and he is going to go back out into his Haxorus here. We did already get that little existing damage off. We do see the Mold Breaker. So now that we're going to be closer to full, we're going to be at 189. So we can take a Dragon Claw from a... let's just double check here. Choice band. Choice banded Dragon Claw. Choice band Outrage knocks us out. It gives us a little bit of a setup opportunity. Ice Beam does do a large chunk of damage. I'm going to go for the Ice Beam here. As he goes for another Dragon Claw. 52 to 64 is what this reads. And that is about what that's doing. We're going to be able to get off our Ice Beam here. And we're going to be doing some great damage to that Pokemon. Now, this does give me an opportunity to switch. Ooh, actually, this doesn't give me an opportunity to switch in Nezuko because we do lose our Sash at that point. We do lose our Sash. I like Vileplume. Still like Vileplume here. Can we still do some damage? We can still do some damage here with... I'm going to bring in Ribombee. I know he's choice locked. And if he switches, that's a great play. It doesn't appear that he switches, which is fine by me. We are going to take rocks damage, so our Sash is broken. He does go for the Dragon Claw here. Now, we can get a pretty solid Moonblast off on something. But what I would like to do here, actually, is double out into our Turtonator. He actually stays in. He was going to sack this thing. Oh, no. No, 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 no. That is not good for us. Whoa, he withdraws. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And he goes down to Luffy. Luffy is going to be the Corviknight. So we're in a pretty solid position here. Luffy does have the pressure ability. So that is something to note. I am going to spin these rocks away. And we're going to see what exactly his Corviknight wants to go for. He withdraws as well. And he goes back out into Chopper, which is the Piloswine. We are going to be able to rapid spin rocks away. And I want to take a look here and see... Piloswine, max HP, Eviolite. I have a feeling he'd want to get his rocks back up again, and if he's thick fat, I would love a Flash Cannon to be able to hurt this thing just to get a little bit of chip off. And that's going to be some good chip. That is going to be some good chip. He does reveal the Earthquake. That's definitely going to take us out. Oh, he is not as attack invested as I thought. Perfect. So we do see EQ on this thing. I do like keeping Roy around to be able to spin if he does get rocks up. However, Piloswine is a huge threat to Nezuko with that priority that he's got. I'm going to go for one more flash cannon. If he thinks I'm going to switch out, that's fine. I want to get as much damage on this thing as possible, because once this thing is gone as well, that does give Rotom free range to just start clicking Volt Switch. He does go for the Earthquake again. That is going to knock out my Turtonator. So I think Turtonator did a great job there. Dies to Piloswine. EQ. So this is an opportunity to bring in Hinata. We do have the option to go for a recover here at the risk of rocks. However, I do also think this gives us our G-Max, and we can get this in and go for a max steel move. I want to just check that here really quickly. It's not flashing at me yet. We know he's not fully attack invested because that did not do nearly enough damage. All right, let's go on ahead and send out Shirley here. And we do still need to keep in mind that he does have the court change option as well. So let's go on ahead and Dynamax here. If he goes for the max Steel Spike, is going to boost our defense. He withdraws Chopper, which is fine. And he goes out into Luffy, which is the Corviknight. So we are going to be able to get a defense raise from this thing, and then we can go for our max Flare as well. If he does carry the Whirlwind, he'll be able to hit us with that. But as of right now, we're keeping rocks away, and we're going to be able to hit this thing with a fair amount of damage, I'd say. But we'll see. We'll see. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's the thumbnail right there. There's the thumbnail right there. Let's go on ahead and get that max Steel Spike off to boost our defense. We can go for the max Flare as well afterwards. And that's going to be doing not as much damage as you'd like it to, but at about 15%, I'd say. We do see leftovers on this thing. I was worried for eject button or something. So we do see leftovers here. We do have the max Flare, which I'm going to go on ahead and go for right here. If he does have it. If he does have anything. Like I said, he could have Whirlwind. We could see what he wants to go for. We'll go on ahead and max Flare this Corviknight. Get some good damage off on it. Not doing too much, but we do set up the sand. So if he decides to roost to kind of weigh this out, we should be able to knock it out with another max Flare here. We do just see the roost from this thing, so that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We knew I knew this Corviknight was going to be a little bit of a problem coming into the game. And that does bring him, with the roost and everything, that does bring him back up to full. So let's go on ahead. Let's go for a sun boosted max Flare now. And he withdraws, more than likely going out into the Quillfish, I'd assume. He actually goes out into Chopper, which is the Piloswine. So Piloswine's going to go down, which is fine by me. We are going to be no longer Dynamax. We do have a +1 defense boost, though, thanks to that max Steel Spike. And we are going to take down his Rocker. Guys to Sandaconda. Max Flare. And this is where he actually sends out his Orbeetle. So Orbeetle is going to be able to frisk and find my leftovers. That's fine by me because the sun's up. The sun is up. So we can certainly try to go for a Fire Fang. I do like the idea, though. I don't want this thing to set up on me. I don't want this thing to set up on me. How do I let this thing not set up on me? I think the play is to get as much damage as possible off with Shirley. Kind of scout to see what it wants to do. And go from there. So we do see the G-Max come off, and we did see he had Frisk on the Orbeetle as well. So we're going to get some good information here, depending on if we are faster than this thing or not. We do see the max Overgrowth come off, so we know he's faster. So that's a grass move. Probably Giga Drain, I'd have to imagine. That did do some pretty good damage. We do get a grassy terrain up, which is nice for us. Let me open up Showdown just to kind of see what grass moves this thing gets. We do get a big Fire Fang damage off in there and the burn. We do see leftovers as well. We actually see weakness policy. That's not a good for anybody. Okay. Okay, calm down, Orbeetle. I don't think I anticipated that. Wow. Okay. That's troublesome. That's troublesome. Let's try to get... oh boy. Trying to think here. So I think Shirley's outlived her usefulness. I think she did what she needed to do. She got some chip damage off. Here comes the G-Max Gravitas, which is going to knock out Shirley. Okay. So gravity's up. Gravity's up. Dies to dies to Orbeetle. G-Max Gravitas. So I'm curious about a few things, actually. I'm curious what we do here, because if he's max speed, he outspeeds Rotom, of course. We can try to go into Ribombee. Orbeetle. I mean, we can try to go into Orbeetle, or we can try to go into Ribombee and go for Bug Buzz. We can also attempt to go out in a Sprig and try to stall out some turns here. I think going out in a Sprig, actually, is our play here. Because I think we need to play out that we need to, unfortunately, kind of stall out this Dynamax. On the off chance, he's going to go for a max move anyways. I was going to say, on the off chance he goes for anything, but Vileplume, I think, is the weakest link here. There was not any form of a... Oh, there's our Pyapa Berry, but we're not going to be able to live that. So he does see that. On the off chance we live, we don't. I was about to say, I was like, no way. No way. Dies to Orbeetle. Max Gravitas. So he went for Max Overgrowth and 2 Gravitas. If he's an offensive Orbeetle, we can go out into Nezuko here and click Bug Buzz, which I think is probably going to be our best bet, honestly. Other than that, I think this thing just sweeps and we lose 5-0. Yeah, Bug Buzz does 80 to 94 to uninvested Orbeetle. We know we're faster than him. We can try. We can try. I can also... Oh, God, I mean, like, do I bother Quiver Dancing here? Do I bother Quiver Dancing here? I don't think so. I don't think so. I got 27 seconds left. Yeah, no, it's not even worth it. I'm gonna go for Bug Buzz. I'm gonna try to do the damage that I need to. Oh, we barely miss out on that KO, and he's gonna go for the Psychic and knock us out. Oh man, yeah, I think this is all she wrote right here, kids. I think this is all she wrote right here. Oh, this is rough. I did not think weakness policy or Beetle. Oh man. I did not think weakness policy or Beetle, man. Kevin's probably our best bet to come in now and click Air Slash. If we're faster, then this might have been the play beforehand, but he still does have the Corviknight in the back, so let's just kind of see what happens here. I'm going to click Air Slash, and hopefully we're faster, or we're not. I don't think we're living a +2 Psychic. Oh, Kevin lived. Maybe it was better to go into Kevin first then. Maybe it was better to go into Kevin. So we don't lose 5-0. We don't lose 5-0. That's the important part here. We get our leftovers, or we get grassy terrain back because of gravity. Oh man. Okay, so dies to Rotom, Air Slash. Goes out into Zoro. That is the Haxorus here, and I think Haxorus just kind of cleans up from here. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. I am going to attempt to get a Reflect up to see if Milotic can 1v1 the rest of his team. I don't think it'll happen. There's the Dragon Claw. Dies to Haxorus, Dragon Claw. And last up is Milotic. That was really unfortunate. I don't think in all my preparation, I don't think you can plan for Weakness Policy Orbeetle. Personally, that's just me. But, you know, maybe you can. Maybe I'm the goober here, but I'll recover on the off chance we live. I'm pretty sure Banded Dragon Claw does way more than that to knock us out. Yep, that's going to be game. So, GG to PokeAim, 5-0. Joey, you made me wait all this time just to smack me around, just to rub it in my face. No, I love Joey, guys. Go follow him. Go show him some love. We end up losing 4-0, actually. Dies to Haxorus, Dragon Claw. I'm happy to see that our battle went much more swimmingly than our battle against Wolf as far as the connection time. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed week 2 of the WBE. If you guys have, feel free to show some love on the like button down below. If you guys want to support the Steel Wings, definitely feel free to check out the merch in the description down below. And all that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great. And I'll see y'all next week for our battle against Duncan. Later.